That's it. We're live. How are we doing, Karen? We're live again. Once more, the VegfestUK Online, Saturday, the 14th of November. Here we are at 5 p.m. And if you're watching again, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us live. There's a number of fantastic live streams on all weekend. You can catch up with them on the website, VegfestUK. And there's also a number of presentations there too. A whole load of stuff, actually, including exhibitors and some really good special offers worth having a note. You can see all this too on the Facebook page, VegfestUK, the event Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and probably, I don't know, any mobile or whatever, watch. One day you would just be able to think it and it will light up in your brain and you will just telepathically be able to, you know. So, Karen, it's 14 years that we've been doing this awards. Here we are with the VegfestUK Awards 2014. And that's quite a journey. And, of course, you've been with us since before that. So quite a landmark, really.
It is, and the awards are so special to my heart. And, you know, just standing on the stage, meeting the businesses, you know, we always add a bit of pizzazz. We've got Peter Egan, we've got Ivana Lynch, we've had Sarah Jane Crawford. We've had some fantastic vegan celebrities, vegan stars, and who have presented the awards. And tonight we've got the nominees. We've got 200 of them to share with you. 200 outstanding vegan businesses that we just want to thank with all of our heart. To me, they're all winners, whether they're the nominee or the actual winner. And they make our life as vegans really a lot more easier and a lot more tastier. And very, very thankful to all of the people that are in the 2020 awards.
Yes, indeed. And that is how it started off, of course, was a bit of a collective. Exactly that. It's all about the taking part. There's some big firms, there's some new firms, there's some established firms, there's some ones just getting going. There's also some projects, there's people, there's some publications, there's all sorts. You know, where we started was back in 2007. Credit to our good friend Tony Bishop-Weston, who came up with the idea of an awards, the 007 Awards. The 007 Awards was basically 7 categories in 2007 with 7 nominees in each, so 49. And we sort of pledged to add another category every year. So, 2008, we saw eight categories, and last year we had 19 categories. And so this year we have 20. I'm going to say that it's quite a big workload. We've always done it for the love. I think it's fair to say that the vegan movement, the animal rights movement, if you want to have perhaps an observation, say quick to criticize, slow to praise is something I think is true. We're quick to jump, but we're slow to praise. And part of the VegfestUK Awards has always been that ethos of we're basically trying to talk each other up and be good to each other, say good things about each other, and especially as we've grown in a vegan market that has wanted to really complement each other rather than compete against each other. And I think that ethos has retained. It's not always been easy, but I think we've achieved that. But you mentioned a few of the people, indeed, Pete Regan in 2016, who stepped up in the last minute, literally 2 hours when somebody dropped out the last minute for whatever, as does happen in showbiz. Pete Regan was your guest there, just sort of visiting, and literally I remember coming to you and saying, Karen, we've got this disaster. We've lost our presenter. And there was Peter there. And it's going, I could do that. And it's like, oh, yeah, great. Yeah, on you go. And what was not so amazing was Peter Egan did that for us, but also that we were giving an award that year to Andrew Tyler. It's a lifetime award, who was not well enough to come and accept it, and indeed passed away just a few months later. And it's a poignant moment. It reminds me of how brief our presence here is, and how nice it is really to be able to say nice things about each other and about some of the people who are really trying hard to make a difference, and especially the people who are struggling and have got very little to do it with. This is a good time to be recognised. On that note, there'll be a few people who are not recognised. You know, literally, I do apologise for that. I mean, we can't include everyone, and I know what it feels sometimes to be left out and overseen and overlooked. And it's not a nice feeling. But, you know, if that is you tonight, you haven't been nominated, you know what, please feel nominated. Just feel included, because if you feel you deserve to be nominated, that shows, you know, you're doing a lot of good stuff. And so, you know, you are nominated, basically. And this is about trying to be inspirational on a bigger picture, encourage each other, and as a collective. And so it's very much about taking part. As for the winners, the voting starts next Sunday, the 26th of November, 22nd of November. And it finishes on Sunday, December the 6th. That's wrong on the bottom there. I don't know why it says that, but it's actually December the 6th. So voting starts in a week. We're not quite there yet. We're going to start voting in a week. And then voting go for 2 weeks, ends on Sunday, December the 6th. You can go to the VegfestUK website. You can also sign up for the bulletin for updates to let you know when voting starts. And we will, of course, be in touch with all the nominees during this next week to let them know. And everybody will be on an even keel when we start next Sunday week for the voting.
Very exciting, I've got to say. And I've got to remember as well, a wonderful friend, the beautiful actress Carol Royal, who is a big VegfestUK supporter. She kindly presented the awards, I think, with me last year, and you, Tim, as well. And, you know, it just makes it even more special for these fantastic people. And if you have been nominated, what I would suggest, wearing my vegan PR hat, is go and tell all your local press, go to your local radio stations, tell your subscribers, make the most of being a VegFest nominee, because it's another way for you as a business owner to get your message out there, to get your details out there. It's a nice feel-good story. And especially if you're lucky enough to be one of the winners, you absolutely have to make a big deal of being a winner as well, because, you know, you're getting veganism out there, you're getting your business out there, you're getting your name in front. And it's really newsworthy. So do make the most of this incredible opportunity.
That's right, Karen. And just before we start, I know there's people tuning in to come and listen to see if they've been nominated. It does just cast my mind back to the second time we did this, when we were a little bit new to it. We were doing it at the Bristol. We started voting. We were doing it at Bristol Vegan Festival, Bristol Vegan Fair in 2008 in the summer. We had a big main stage there. I remember, you know, sort of looking a half hour. The voting had shut, I think, the day before. And I remember looking around, and we didn't have a single winner there. So we had these 8 categories. We didn't have a winner, actually. What we did have, everybody had finished second. Just happened to be there.
Wow!
Okay, right. Well, second is the new first. We should put all the people who finished second up on the stage as part of our awards ceremony. And I've got to say, like, that was a surprise to all the people who finished second. They had never been put on stage to accept second before. So it was slightly novel, but we sort of got away with it until afterwards. I realised about 5 minutes later, after we finished this second is the new first winners presentation award ceremony, that actually there was a winner there, and it was Keith. who was trading there, and he came out, he was pretty irate actually. He's going, look, what's all this about? I thought we won the award. I said, oh my goodness, I forgot all about it. So we put Keith on just before, I think, Bad Manners or something like that. And I think Keith regretted it, because I did really give him a good 5 minutes of bigging him right up, made sure he felt, Redwood. Of course, Redwood, this is before he sold Redwood to Heather Mills, and it became then V-Bites. And this is after he'd bought it off of Jeremy Joni, who founded Redwood. So the real pioneers of all of this thing. And Keith was, he was a good bloke. But I had also found out that he was an amateur singer in a heavy metal rock band. That was his hobby, yeah. So he liked stages.
Amazing.
Yeah, it slightly met his match that day, because I did actually talk him up so much. I think he went bright red, and I think he couldn't wait to get off the stage. Fair shout to him. Anyway, there you go. There's a little anecdote of these years we've gone past with the VegfestUK Awards. They're always a lot of fun. They're always done in the best spirit, the good intention. And, that's what it's all about. They're for free. We never ask for money for this. It's for the love, and to see the vegan community have something positive to say, not just about themselves, but about each other too. On that note, Karin Ridgers, the first category. Let's see who it is.
How exciting.
Are we ready? My goodness.
Vegan shop.
Best vegan shop. Do you like shopping, Karin?
Well, you know what? Especially if it's in a vegan shop, how exciting. It's only what I could have dreamed of 25 years ago when I went vegan. I can't wait to hear who the nominees will be for this.
Well, of course, vegan shops, like all shops right now, have got a pretty tough time. It's not easy. We're right in the middle of lockdown, if you're watching in months or years to come. So we're celebrating the vegan shops, and in doing so, a little shout out to all the frontline workers who are handling this through this pandemic crisis. It's incredibly stressful, I know, for a lot of people. You don't get a lot of thanks. So there's a little shout out for everyone. Here's some of the fantastic shops that are open. This first one there, Rudy's Vegan Butchers, literally, I think, opened last weekend. Karin, so pretty current.
It's brand new, and they've absolutely smashed it with their PR. Front pages of newspapers, national newspapers picked it up. Cannot wait to go along. There's some really good names there. Vegan Cross in Bristol. Love you guys and absolutely miss you, because they had the Vegan Cross in King's Cross that we used to go to a lot. Alternative stores, we spoke about them in our VegFest chat. They've been going 50 years, didn't you say, Tim? Daniel
Strattle, young man, has been vegan since, I believe, 1969, which makes him going on 51 years now. He's the guy behind Alternative Stores, and of course his son and various family members, who I believe are actually part of the Heather Mills, up in Heather's big vegan kind of metropolis, as it were. There's shops and all sorts of things, factories. So the Vegan Kind supermarket's in there. There's also Green Bay. You mentioned VX Bristol. There's another one in Bristol too, actually, Flip, which is pretty interesting. That's come up fairly recently. So there are some really, really interesting shops specialising. They're all vegan. Unicorn Grocery, of course, in Manchester. And I think we've been watching that one for a long time. Unicorn Grocery stock a lot of yo-yo, a lot of vegan products, really good, sort of pretty big, almost like a forerunner to a supermarket there. And the other one that catches the eye there, La Fromagerie.
I cannot wait to go there. Their products are outstanding. They sent me some last year to try. And yeah, they just blew me away. Outstanding vegan cheeses. And really, the Vegan Kind as well, supermarket. I mean, I remember meeting those guys at VegFest in Glasgow, and they've just gotten built and built up. So very exciting, best vegan shop. And now we
have up to the Sandbox and the Purple Carrot too, just to grab up those there. Before we move on to this one, Karin, which is a new category indeed. Last one was a new category. You will note some of the categories are very similar to last year, and that is in part because a lot of them are still in business doing things, but also because, you know, there's a lot of nominees here. So, but this is a whole new one, favourite animal sanctuary. Now, we just want to be say here that this really is about all of these wonderful sanctuaries. I think they all deserve first prize. There isn't really a first prize in this category. It's more about actually trying to remind people about the importance of supporting animal sanctuaries, especially through this winter. All of them are going to be in need of funding. There's many, many more too. Again, it's one of these ones, Karen, where we sort of picked 10. There are actually plenty more. And I know you do quite a lot of work yourself for Wet Nose. You're an ambassador. You must recognise a few of these here.
Pretty much all of them, to be honest. I mean, Hopefield, as it's very local to me, has a very special place in my heart. It's where I set up my vegan stalls 20 odd years ago and spoke to people about being vegan. And they're very open-minded, the owners. They really were ahead of their time. And now they have the patron of Leona Lewis. That's where I met Leona Lewis. But you've got some brilliant names there, of course, Huglet's Wood, who are big friends of VegFest. You've got Tower Hill Stables, which is run by our wonderful Fiona Oakes, who is just, you know, an incredible person, incredible vegan. You've got some other lovely people, and I know they all just do such a fantastic job, don't they, Tim? They're dedicating their lives to caring for abused animals, abandoned animals, people, you know, even animals that may well have been put down or even rescued from ending up on somebody's plate. They're hands-on, and you know, they don't get any time off. It's not easy. It really isn't easy for any of these guys. So I find them all very inspirational.
Yeah, it's very, very much so, and it's a very challenging role, you know, looking after animals. Like you say, some of these animals coming in, being rescued, they're in some of them quite a sorry state, you know, that suffered at the hands of humans, and it's a very tough one. And I know all the sanctuaries get very little thanks, very little funding. So if you're in a position to help, let's do so. And of course, that goes too for our campaign groups. Now, there are, again, multiple campaign groups, and really this one again is very much about, look, you know, if you're an activist, you're nominated, you know, well done, you're getting out there for animals, you're getting out there for the future of our environment, for our kids and such like, and you're getting out there to promote, you know, what is the way of life that we really need to adopt for multiple reasons. So all the campaign groups, really all the activists, it's a shout out for all of you. But there are some particular groups that have been nominated. If your favourite group is not one of them, please, you know, support them anyway. Tell them vociferously that they should have been nominated. Don't tell me, please. Just nominate them next year or something. Please don't have a go at me. Look, honestly, we really are deeply inspired on a daily basis by the amount of different animal activism going on across not just the UK, but now really right across the world. And indeed, seeing some of these new groups coming up is incredible. So I don't know if we've actually got the nominations for the best campaign groups. Yeah, we have. Great. Okay. So, Go Vegan World. You've got Veganuary in there. There's some familiar names, one or two spelt without a capital letter, but never mind. You had to let us off for that. That's probably my fault because it's me. But look, there's Veggies in there too, Karen. You can see Veggies. That's the Nottingham campaigner groups, and the Hunt Sabs. You've got the Hunt Sabs in there. Speak are in there. That's you know that's a vivisection, anti-vivisection group actually. So there's a few big ones. There's a few old school. Hunt Sabs going 57 years now. Vegans Against World Hunger's in there. Vegan Society celebrating 75, 80. I've lost count actually. How many years is it now? Is it? I think it's 76 years of Vegan Society.
It is, yeah. 1944, the Vegan Society was set up, and obviously incredibly inspirational, and they've inspired many people. All these people just absolutely inspire me. I mean, we see the big posters for Go Vegan World, seen them on the sides of buses, Go Vegan, very, very exciting. I have so much admiration for the Hunt Sabs, just incredible. Veganuary we've got there that's turned the whole world on its head. I remember getting the phone call from Matthew Glover saying, Karin, I've been told I must speak to you. We haven't even got a website, but we want you to promote Veganuary. And people couldn't even pronounce it at that time, about 7 years ago. So there was not even a website. And they've come, just made such a huge difference to vegans. And Viva, who are very, very close to my heart. They were the very first group that I came across, and who I remember came to Essex to help me launch Viva Essex. And we really did campaign on a local level, which I loved. I met the most wonderful people. And Animal Aid, all we ever hear is wonderful things about Animal Aid. Everybody has something lovely to say about Animal Aid. So all of these people, all of these groups, I love the fact that they campaign on different issues and they're making such a huge difference.
Yeah, fair shout. So well done, all our campaign groups, all the activists. Let's try and get more active. I am getting more and more in the Ronnie Lee camp, that almost to the point we should change the definition of veganism to include activism. I'm not quite there yet, but I certainly encourage people to be active, and especially during this Veganuary campaign, to promote both the ethical vegan side and also the plant-based diet side. So now we've got the best vegan clothing. We've got some fantastic clothing in there. Now, clothing is having a tough time, we know that. People are buying food, people are buying health supplements, clothing. People are generally making clothes last longer, recycling them. I'll be honest, I'm wearing clothes from 30 years ago still. This is my chippy shirt from 1990, and it's my warmest shirt. It's a bit cold out there, but there's some fantastic clothing here, Karin. One or two new ones?
Yeah, definitely. We've mentioned lots of these before on our vegan chat show earlier on in the year. They're run by vegans, they're designed by vegans, they give money back to charities, lots of the animal charities that we mentioned earlier. Viva La Vegan won lots of awards here at VegFest. They're really fantastic people. Vegan Happy, who I know very close to my heart, an inspirational lady called Laurie, runs that business. And that they've just got great people behind them. We spoke about ethics earlier. My son, every time he comes to VegFest, he has to buy something from ethics. So he's got sweatshirts and baseball caps and all sorts. So you've got great people, all glamour and no guts. And there was the other guys, they're going to pop up in a minute, anti-carnists. I've actually got shirts that I've worn live on my radio show as well, because you want to do everything you can to promote veganism, and wearing a vegan t-shirt is a great way to just get the message out there. So yeah, great lineup, great nominees, Tim.
Great nominees, some really ethical firms there, and it is tough, and I know that a lot of ethical firms, it costs you a lot to get high standards. Then also there's a donation. There's sometimes a drop in sales. So I think if you're going to invest in a bit of clothing, there's some fantastic people to look at. Wear Your Voice is a favourite of mine, all hand-drawn, hand artists, real passion there. Humane Human are a new firm we come across this year. They've exhibited at the Summerfest. I should mention that there are some great vegan ranges, but we tend to go for the vegan, wholly 100% vegan companies if we can. for these awards. This is a new one, Karen, and again, this is a real collective. You've got some fantastic collectives here. This really is, in a way, a standout category, because some of the initiatives here you will see, and we've had again a few of them on our shows and part of VegFest. It's really important time to be out there doing inspirational work, leading the way if you can in your field with the plant-based and vegan world, and all the new initiatives that come up, the wide range of genres that are covered, and this really is a real select group of fantastic. PBHPUK is indeed the Plant-Based Health Professionals UK. You've got the VON there, which is the Vegan Organic Network.
Yeah.
You've got Veg for Life, which is Vegetarian for Life. Yeah. They do a load of work with care homes and elderly. We had David from Vegan Business Tribe on earlier, David and Lisa. Got fantastic teams from both Made in Hackney and Life After Hummus. They are both initiatives in the London area, working with people with really considerably sort of challenging circumstances. And Karen, one of our real favourites there is the Art of Compassion project. I know that we love that, and the one that you're an honorary member of, indeed, the Vegan Women's Leadership Network, which has come up this year. So
it's fantastic, Tim. I just have to sit here and kind of pinch myself, because we've got social media now. We can access all of these incredible people's websites. I know I go on, but back in the day, if these guys existed, they certainly couldn't have got their message out easily. People would not have necessarily known about them. And there's lots of these. I know there's lots of new initiatives, and I'm blown away. It's like at VegFest when we did our effective factor. You can just see these most brilliant people promoting veganism in the way that suits them and works for them and what they're passionate about. And I'm so inspired and blessed to just even get to hear it and to be announcing them on the VegfestUK Awards. I just feel like I'm not worthy, to be honest. They're so inspirational.
A little mention too for the vegan approach, and they're a little team that work with people who are new to going vegan and plant-based diets, and it's really important. So there's some great work there. Now we're coming on to a little bit more product-based now. We've got a few product-based. So here you go, the vegan bag, shoes and accessories. This is an area which has really grown in the last few years. I think going back 25 years, there was probably vegetarian shoes and that was about it. Now, well, we've got some fantastic options. So we haven't been able to get everybody in. There's just not room for everybody. There's lots of options, but there's some standout ones there. Lifestyle International particularly have some just great options. We saw the Banty earlier today. I know you're a big fan of the bags, Karen, and our pal Victoria is always got a Lebanti bag on her sleeve, as it were. Some other ones we talked about this morning. Actually, we had Watson and Wolf on our show. Some of the wallets and the gifts, some great gifts. We mentioned vegetarian shoes, which is now 30 years in existence. We had Lunatary Jewelry on our chat show this morning. We also mentioned Workers' Playtime, who do a range of quite robust and rugged footwear and clothing. And Beyond Skin, who are long-standing favourites of ours, probably do go back 15 years, actually.
Yeah.
Skin, quite a long time. We've also got Pecuro Upcycle there, do some really interesting work. Vouch, who work with watches and watch straps and such like. And then you've also got the most fantastic Will's vegan shoes, who quite often win this. So, but a very interesting, dynamic bunch of fantastic vegan options, no animal products used in these bag, shoes and accessories. Yeah. Karen, have you got a favourite there, or is that a little bit naughty?
There's a few, because obviously I've met Will so many times at VegFest, and Robin, who's an inspiration. You've got some brilliant people. Voch, to me, Laura, the most incredible story. If you're going to do one thing, go and Google Voch. She came on my radio show. What a brilliant lady. Beyond Skin. I think I met Beyond Skin when I was the director of the Vegan Society, Natalie, who told me that this is her dream, this is what she wants to set up. Probably more than 20 years ago, about 20 years ago. Yeah. And what I loved him, and I know we're going to move on, but just to say, what quality. These are not throwaway items. These are long-lasting, fantastic products, really well made.
Absolutely, Karen. And on that note, we go on to the vegan fragrances and makeup. And this is a category that, again, reflects the considerable growth of brands, people moving into this area. We've got some that have been with us since day one, which is Dolma. I mean, Dolma, I think, predate even me as a vegan. Never mind, you know, I think Dolma go back to the 70s. The original vegan company making you know, fragrances and such like. Got Eden Perfumes, of course, big fave amongst a lot of us.
They're fantastic.
Kings is a big fave amongst a lot of us. Very interesting, you know, little story there behind the Kings. You've got Beauty Without Cruelty, of course, goes way back. And they were the original vegan makeup company, I think it's fair to say.
It's all I used for years. I had to drive half an hour away just to go and buy it because I wouldn't use anything else. Honesty, obviously, fantastic products from them as well. And some new ones for me as well, which I'm looking forward to checking out.
You should have a little look at the Jekka Black. I had a little look at Jekka Black. Jekka Black's really interesting. Very, very good makeup range. It's a gender fluid makeup range too, which is interesting. Annabelle Minerals, which has got some very quality products, which you know, they exhibited with us recently, and I think people quite thrilled to discover that new range. Annabelle Minerals, which I think originates in Poland, but is being widely distributed in the UK now. So that's another one to look out for there. Mahi Naturals have a number, you know, of ranges, but including the makeup ranges. So Mahi Naturals is worth checking out. They also have some lip balms and such like. Floral Street is a fairly new company that we've had recently at VegFest. And I've got to say, I don't know much about the EMJ company, so that's pretty shocking.
New boys, are they? New guys?
Do you know what? I don't know. So there you go. It just goes to show. I haven't done my homework 100%, but the EMJ company are there. We did check them out. I think we had them last year. And we have got some really, really good makeup, some fragrances, and, you know, certainly part of the, of course, joy of this is that people share, the companies share. We sort of talk each other up, which is important to, you know, we are trying to create a world there where we don't use animals. And to do that, we have to do it collectively, you know. So the best way to do that is to talk each other up, really. That's my opinion.
Absolutely.
Vegan meat, I don't know if you can say that word anymore. I'm not quite sure where we are. Probably spell it. Oh no, they said it's all right to use meat. You can't eat foods, you know, something like that. I don't know, ignore them anyway. We've got some fantastic vegan meat. Now, a lot of people wonder why perhaps they say, oh, you know, why would you want to eat vegan meat? And the truth is because it tastes good and we like it. That's why. So, and guess what? You don't have to go and stab animals in the neck to enjoy your meal. So there's a very good reason Why? We like a bit of vegan meat every now and again. Seitan is the big deal these days, of course, has come a long way. Seitan is got that texture. Omniport, Karen, have got a vegan spam out. And I actually see the Omniport tea in Hong Kong. The spam song from Monty Python from 50 years ago, which apparently got played in their office and went down a treat because spam is a big thing in Hong Kong and vegan spam. Omniport is launched. They're going to be launching in the UK soon, possibly without the Monty Python theme tune to go with it. But nevertheless, that was an amusing thing. Of course, you've got the V-Bites range in there, which is always popular. You've got the fries range in there, which is always popular. Vivera are pretty huge. Better Nature have got a nice sort of tempeh tofu things out, I believe. Granovita are pretty old school. They've got kind of, is that the mock duck? Granovita? Is that?
I think it is, yeah. I just love the old school stuff. You know, funny enough, I was talking to Heather Mills the other day. I don't know, I've not had a chance to talk to you. And because we go back, we went to the launch of her restaurant, didn't we, Tim? Quite some time ago. And there are a lot of products out now. But for me, V-Bites, which was Redwood's back in the day, I just love their products. They're my go-to for a roast dinner. I just really like their products. Easy to pop in your sandwich. They're tasty. They're not too overly meaty. I just love them, and that's why. And fries, they do hold a special place in my heart because I did all of their publicity for quite some time a few years ago. Again, just delicious. Chuck it in the frying pan, add it to your stir fry. Really lovely texture, lovely flavours. I wouldn't know who to pick out of all of those, Tim. I wouldn't know because I like them all.
Well, that's another category that we've got. All those nominations will be starting the voting in about a week's time. They'll be up on the website fairly soon. You won't find everybody up there yet, so don't go looking. But they will be soon. And this category here, best vegan cheese, quite a lot of takers on the market for this one. I'm sure we'll get in trouble now with the EU trading standards for spelling cheese with an E and not an A. But that's life, tough. And the nominations, indeed, for this are some great options. It's always a hotly contested area. And what's quite nice about this, Karen, is that you've got some supermarket brands, but then you've also got some of the artisan brands. Now, a lot of these you can buy online. So it's a good opportunity to try a few. And I think vegan cheese has really come into its own. Whereby it's no longer meant to be like cheese. It's got its own characteristics. Some of the vegan cheeses, the fermented nut milks and such like that go into it. And so it's really extraordinary and interesting dynamic ones. I've got to say there about half of those, well, 2 or 3 of those are sort of what you call artisan cheeses. So you've got I Am Not Okay, is an artisan cheese. New Roots is an artisan cheese. Tyne cheese is artisan cheese. But then you've got your firm favourites like Butte Island, which of course has been going for 32 years, so they really have pioneered the whole vegan cheese forerunners to the whole game, really. Violife, which is huge, so Violife are everywhere. Dire Foods is making its mark in the UK. Mozzarella is quite a popular one. We've mentioned Follow Your Heart. There's also Happy Cheese. And of course, Cocoa Dairy Free, who are a big firm who've got their in-there cheese out. So we've got some really good options. And they are going live on the 22nd November for the voting. There's your vegan cheese options, Kay. Any of those take your fancy?
All of them. I want them all.
Good answer.
I love vegan cheese. And, you know, when I'm talking to people about being vegan, whether it's a journalist that I'm coaching, or a celebrity, or just talking to anybody about being vegan, you know, this is the thing that they say a lot. Well, what about cheese? And I think that reply is going to fade out, because the vegan cheeses now are outstanding. And with thanks to people like the lovely She's guys, I've never gone without cheese. Even 25 years ago, I've never had to go out without cheese. It used to be I used to have to take cheese to a restaurant, a pizza restaurant. Don't even have to do that now. So yeah, really great, exciting category, as is our next one as well, vegan snacks and sweets.
Well, I've got to be honest, I have a clear bias here. If you heard me chatting earlier today on the VegfestUK chat, which you can see episode 2, series 1, volume 1, or whatever it is, or volume series 2, volume 1, no, series 2, episode 1. It's on the website anyway. And I was talking about vegan sweets, and I've got to be honest, there is in here, I hope, yeah, there's a clear winner for me. So it's a bit of a bias, but there's some vegan midget gems that are tucked away, and that's just going to take me straight back to being 11 years old again. So, you know, I wouldn't mind that experience now that I'm 57. So I'm going to get some of those and make a little order for some midget gems from Fellows. You've got Jevons Toffee, which is going to be pretty incredible. Peanut Hutty, we talked about earlier. Eat Real Snacks, which is the Co-Fresh range. Creative Nature, who've been around for a couple of decades now. Mummy Meeks, who has some really cutting-edge products. Perkia, always favourites of ours. Cheeky Monkey, which is a bit of a new snack on the market. The Vive team, which is doing some really interesting stuff with chocolate and such like, protein and pretty good pie. And then also a big favourite of ours, which is the handmade Sesame Kingdom halva range.
Lovely.
Pretty outrageously cool vegan snacks and sweets to look at there. I'd be happy to have pretty much all of those. Yeah.
I know you would, and I would as well. I mean, we chatted earlier, Peanut Hottie is a fantastic product. It's powdered peanuts, very lower in fat, so 80% of the fat's been taken out, and you can add it to your smoothies. It's a firm favourite of both Lisa, who runs the company, and mine as well. So, you know, that's one that stood out for me. And also, I'm just looking at the names going past to get a prompt. Right, not that one. Oh, of course. I've got to say, Jevons Toffees. If you haven't had their vegan Rolos, OMG. When I went on to Heart Radio about a year or whatever ago, I took some of their vegan Rolos, and the presenters were blown away. They are just incredible. I know they all are, but we've all got some firm favourites, and Leslie and Corinne and I go back a really long way, so I know they're great people as well.
I think we're just showing our age, Karen, because when we were kids, you couldn't get all that vegan stuff.
Nothing.
And now here we are, we're adults. We're kind of looking back to our favourite childhood stuff, and now there's all these vegan options, including, of course, ice cream. Because I'll be honest, when I went vegan back in 1984, ice cream was the last thing that I had to say goodbye to ice cream. We had a painful parting, shall I say. You know, it's not an easy separation. You know, it's easy to get rid of a number of the milk I never liked. Yogurt, wasn't interested. Cheese, not really. I mean, a little bit. But butter was tough. But ice cream was a Western supermare. And I have to admit, I slipped up a couple of times in 84, 85, 86 in those early days. The odd bit of ice cream may have indeed possibly passed my lips that I would be horrified to admit to now. But, it's probably true. But now there's no excuse because, well, not there's an excuse then, it's just lazy, ill-disciplined and slack. But there's no excuse at all now. What were these amazing, incredible vegan options now in the ice cream world?
Yeah.
The new kids on the block, they're Dapper, just seem popping up at the end. Dapper, come to VegFest, it has some wonderful stuff, proper interesting. I hope they're surviving the pandemic. And obviously November is not quite the usual season for ice cream, but my freezer has plenty of ice cream and year-round occupation. And it's a great stuff there. Boocher, of course, Collaborative, Bose Ice Cream, Eureka, that used to be based in Soho, I think may well still be, for avocado, Perfect World, Miro, big favourite. They got some great stuff out, Coconut Organic, Blue Skies, and the aforementioned Dapper. So some awesome vegan ice cream, some of which you'll find in supermarkets. I don't know whether you can buy the stuff online or not. Can you buy frozen? Can you get frozen?
Yeah, a lot of it you can. And, you know, you've got places like Ocado that sell, you know, lots of frozen products, and they probably stock. Yeah, there's supermarkets stock that a lot of these as well. Bourgeois, I picked some of those up last week from my independent health food store. Really good ice cream. I mean, I've got to say, it's not there, but I'm just such a Swedish Glace fan myself. And it was because of Swedish Glace I went vegan 25 years ago. I know they've been brought out and different people, but, you know, I am still a vanilla ice cream Swedish Glace fan. But the guys there, where have they gone? Eureka. I went to the opening, the press opening of Eureka in London, and it's just so exciting. You could have absolutely everything you wanted. And yeah, you know, pop to the supermarket, pop to your independent health food store, and you have got an abundance of vegan ice cream now. I mean, surely they're going to phase out cow milk. How boring. Who needs it when you've got all of this, which is dairy free?
Indeed, Karen, and that is one of the best things about now that we didn't really have 40, 30 years ago, is that choice. I mean, I always thought it was easy to be vegan back in the 1980s, just simply because, you know, the basis of being vegan is whole food, rainbow, plant-based diets. But the advent of the vegan ready meal, of course, is something that's really popped up in the last few years. You've got incredibly a wide range. Now, I've got to be honest, we've included one ready meal for our canine four-legged friends. So you can spot that there is a clue in the title. So I would just little warning that 9 out of 10 of these are for human consumption. And indeed, there is Herbivores, which is a ready meal for dogs. Indeed, that's just to point out that we did think that we would include, you know, our four-legged friends there. So we've got some fantastic pizza. I see we've got 2 pizzas, White Rabbit pizza and the One Planet pizza. They are obviously delivered to your doorstep as frozen. I think you can buy them in the supermarkets too. Veg bread and Superfoods are sort of fairly recent additions. Bowl Foods is pretty widespread now. Vegan Fitness Meals is a really good little new addition. It came out just last year, launched at London actually. You've got Mr. Nice Pie in there, fantastic Emma and Tom up the road in Wales, ham making, all them. They're pretty ready meal if ever there was. In fact, you know, I wouldn't mind a Mr. Nice Pie for tea tonight, actually. It's a bit wet misery. It's a bit pie kind of weather. In fact, it's pretty much vegan ready meal sort of weather all round. And it's great to see these days that you can get so many good options delivered to your doorstep or, you know, straight out the shelf and ready for the oven ready, unlike our Brexit do. Yeah.
I mean, there's some lovely ones. I know Feed Me Vegan. I think that's Lucy Watson from Made in Chelsea. That's her brand. And I remember her coming on the VegFest stage and announcing, you know, what she was doing, her vegan cookbook. Bowl Foods, they're very handy. One Planet Pizza, we spoke about our friends earlier at One Planet Pizza, because you still can't get over the fact that they have pizzas with Brussels sprouts on, can you, Tim?
I do like that. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. So, pizza with Brussels sprouts, very seasonal.
Really good.
be honest, I must admit, I would probably, I am looking forward to my first plateful of Brussels sprouts. Haven't managed to get hold of one yet, but that's just because I've been, it's difficult sometimes, isn't it, getting this stuff together, decent food. It's always a challenge, but less so these days with the advent of all these ready meals and such like. The convenience, takeaways really is just so easy. And of course, the amount of skincare products on the market now, the vegan skincare, this is quite similar to last year's categories actually. And that's partly because all of these ones are just so amazing, brilliant, vegan, independent. You'll see what we've got here. We tend to prioritize the smaller vegan independent brands. You mentioned Swedish Glass earlier, which I believe is now a kind of Unilever brand. So that's part of the reason why we try and prioritise some of the smaller brands.
Absolutely,
And the skincare products especially here. But one of the things about the skincare products, which is important, of course, where the smaller brands really have an advantage, is that pretty much everything you're looking at there is all freshly made. So they're made in small runs. They're made in fresh ingredients, and especially the botanical additions tend to have a lot more punch. And the oils, some of the essential fatty acids that go into there, they're always better fresh. So there's some standout firms there. But I'm not going to list them all because you can read them all. But there's a few in there that would be absolutely more than happy to have on my shelf. What do you think, Karen?
I love them all. Some I've tried, some I really would like to try. It winds me up, especially when it comes to makeup and skincare, because you're putting this on your body. You've got to know what the ingredients are. You can trust these guys. You can trust any of the businesses that come to VegFest. There are products out there that when you would look at the ingredients, you can't pronounce them. You don't know what they are. They're animal ingredients. They're animal tested. Whether it's the lipstick, that you're putting on, you're eating it. It could contain animal products. Your skincare, it could be chemicals or animal products on your skin. I've never, since I found this, I would never go back. I would never use something that's not vegan. And these are the best. These nominees have brought us fantastic natural skincare products.
And not tested on animals too is important.
Yeah, not tested.
Not tested. Animal testing is something that's quite topical at the moment, and it's not talked about enough. But Carol, this next category, vegan chocolate, I'm sure you've got a few. I'll be honest, I'm not really a big chocolate fan myself. It's not
Aren't you? I am.
I don't just
very big.
I'm not somebody who buys a lot of it and eats it, but I am aware of the massive growth, and there's some just awesome. I mean, I do eat some of that. Actually, you know what? I had to take that back. Looking at that list, I probably do. Yeah, no, I do. I do eat. I do eat quite a lot of that. Rhythm 108 is awesome. That's maybe the oat milk. I know the Rhythm 108 is a real good brand there. Raw Chocolate Company and the Conscious Chocolates have been going a long time. I'll tell you the one I do eat a lot of actually is the Naked Chocolish. They're new. They came out during lockdown and they're pretty spectacular. They're made with date syrup and cacao, and they're really quite impressive. You've got your Moo Free there, which is always an impressive firm. You've got your So Free, which is also an impressive firm, and I believe they have some new products out this summer too from Plamil under the So Free brand there. Prodigy Chocolates, pretty awesome, pretty intense, exciting flavours there. Dark Matters, who make the brownies. Supernatural, who have some great, and indeed they're on a buy two get one free this weekend. Chocolish, and the wonderful Vigo Good Food GmbH, which are of course a German firm, but they've been firm favourites at VegFest for a number of years now. The Vigo brand, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years now, something. So I think this would be a pretty hotly contested one. I think people are pretty what's the word? Pretty partisan when it comes to their chocolate. They're quite brand defensive, isn't it? I think people are quite loyal to their favourite chocolate. I think it's quite a personal thing, isn't it?
It is. And I mean, for me, back in the day when I went vegan, it really was, how am I going to live without chocolate? So I had to quickly discover some go-to brands. And then they've grown and grown and grown over the years. We've got the best ones here. I mean, special love, of course, to So Free, which is the Plamel brand. Big lovers of Plamel. They're very on the ball, very ethical. They've come on the stage. We've had lots of chats. I've met Adrian. The Rhythm chocolate brand. I mean, we're running out of time now. So many great products down there. They're all absolutely fantastic. And I thank you personally as a big chocolate fan.
So, alcohol is something that vegans have been indulging in since the word was founded back in 1944. But of course, as many of us know, alcohol has traditionally been made with quite a lot of animal products. So isinglass has been used in the refining process, as has casein, various other animal ingredients. So these are all alcohol, and they are indeed alcohol products. So I'm not drinking any of these at the moment, but that's not to say I wouldn't appreciate a number of these, and have done, and will do again. In particular, I spot that a brand that I don't think you would refer to as a small independent vegan brand, a huge, enormous vegan brand like Maurice Chandon. But that is champagne. All of their alcohol is vegan, I believe. The Maurice Chandon label. So there's a new one. Prosecco is something I've discovered this summer, actually, Karen. I've never drunk Prosecco before. I know, ripe old age, 57, and it's quite nice, actually.
It is a bit of a favourite of mine. I don't drink really at all. Probably I could go months and months and months. But when I do, I might have a glass of Prosecco. I do like a glass of champagne or a nice cocktail. But
I've seen you on the cocktails.
Yeah, all right, Tim.
That's true. I remember you and Alan drinking cocktails up in Scotland in Mono, one of Craig's bars in Glasgow when we did.
Oh, yes.
You had one, then you had another, and a pair of you were just giggling non-stop.
I just don't drink a lot, so yeah, that would be completely my limit, probably for 6 months. But for me, it has to be vegan. It has to be. I will not drink it. I don't want to know unless it's vegan. And I think, wine companies in particular, they're just missing out by not putting vegan. I was sent some lovely products. They're all on my website. They're coming on my website, VegfestUK. And now we're seeing more and more drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, staying vegan on them, which I think is, really exciting. Terra Organica, organic spirits company. I'm loving that we're seeing the organic as well, which I just am such an organic fan. So some really good brands out there, and Maurice Chandon, quite exciting.
Maybe we get a case sent to us if they win, huh? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. So this vegan superfoods and supplements. Now this is a big area of growth, obviously, because of the association now. There's some evidence pointing towards probiotics and also vitamin D to protect you against COVID-19, or to help you recover from COVID-19, perhaps more accurately. So immune system strengtheners are a big deal at the moment. Fermented food, superfoods, supplements, it's all a big growth area. I've been working with a number of firms for a number of years now. They do some really, really quality quality products. And it's the same thing. We were discussing supplements a bit earlier with Plant-Based Health Professionals UK. Importance of a good quality B12, D3, EPA, DHA, important ones, and also not to get too many. So it's important to remember supplements really is the basis of a rainbow whole food plant-based diet, and then some supplementation on top. It doesn't replace a good diet, we know that, but there are some excellent companies here producing some really top of the range supplements and superfoods, and one that catches my eye there, kimchi with everything actually. Kimchi is fantastic. Fermented foods, probiotics is a really big thing. The vegums have a really good, interesting, new dynamic product out that was just launched this last summer. Vivo Life have got some great products. I know our guest earlier today, Hench Herbivore, is a big Vivo Life fan. Coconut Merchant has some excellent coconut products, of course, in many respects, superfood. Nature's Plus, top of the range vitamins. The Source of Life vitamin range, the liquid is brilliant. Vega has some really good powders and protein products. Aduna has some fantastic products. Terra Nova Nutrition are a really good range. They're a sort of good, steady range of vegan products, and Veganicity indeed too. Long-standing favourites of ours. So Raw Sport got a nice new range out with Dean. Dean's got a Lean Dean range out of superfoods. And Karen, it's an important thing. I know you do sort of smoothies, superfoods and such like a bit, don't you? It's a top up, isn't it? It's just ideal for busy life.
Absolutely. I mean, why not? Absolutely. As long as it's vegan, good quality, and again, everybody that comes along to VegFest, they really know their stuff. Veganicity as well, long-term friends of VegFest, lovely guys behind the company, and the products have grown and grown.
So here's one for you, Karen. Here's the vegan cakes. You can talk all about vegan cakes. I just talked about supplements.
Well, okay. Let's see who they are then. Best vegan cakes. Well, there's some new ones for me. There's some ones that I've tried. There's actually one that I've got on the top of my wardrobe behind me, ready for Christmas. Again, you can come and try them when we're back at VegFest. This is the sad thing. We can only infuse about these guys over the internet to you at the moment, but I know if you go to the VegFest page, you'll find out more details, and obviously they will all want your votes as well. Rubies of London, I got to try their products, I think, at the last VegFest or the VegFest before. Really lovely, freshly made, very nice, different flavors. And the vegan cakery, I mean, how many times has that lady been on the stage? I said she's been on the stage more than me at VegFest, hasn't she? I think she's won all of the awards, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, so much so that we had to drop vegan cakes last year, because kept winning it. So we thought about have vegan cakes back this year.
Have you been to Cake Bristol?
Yeah, well, I think Bristol have just been, working hard to survive. There are a number of these. Of course, it's quite intense industry, the handmade cake. Somebody like Giancarlo from the Vegan Sweet Tooth. I know how hard, it is to work to get that sort of level of quality to not only. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult art, isn't it? It's not easy baking cakes, I remember baking a cake when I was a kid. It was just like a lump of rock, I remember my family bravely trying to eat it because I was obviously younger, so I don't think they wanted to sort of upset me, But I mean, it was like a lump of lead. It really was. I mean, goodness me, you probably break your teeth on it. It's not, rock cake, I think was the polite phrase for it. Rock cake would probably sort of Victoria sponge, yeah. But it's not an easy one. So fair credit to all of these. I know it's a really intense industry, but there's some fantastic looking cakes, and it's really tempting. shop like, I know, Cookies and Scream in London. Really, it's like a craft, really, you know, baking and such like.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
And yeah, hats off to all of these guys, proving that you really do not need eggs and butter. You can have fantastic, fantastic cakes without the animal cruelty in them. And I'm really excited to see this next category, best vegan spreads, dips and sauces, because, you know, sauces and dips can really transform. We're keeping you up, love. They can really transform what you're eating. And again, these have grown and grown. Vegan spreads as well, very handy if you just want a quick sandwich on the go, or you've got kids and you don't know what to make for their packed lunch. You know, we've got the great nominees down here.
We haven't got them all. They're on two banners there. So if you see this just jump around a little bit, that's because the editor, me, didn't do the word count properly. But we've got some great ones there. The Nature's Trail whipped coconut cream actually is a bit standout. Yeah. Also, I mentioned them this morning, the Nutsesity. It's a little Bristol local firm, Nutsesity. Got some sort of nut spreads. They're really interesting. Plamil, who you mentioned earlier, the originals.
Their chocolate spread. Their chocolate spread. It's outstanding. I'm a huge fan. I think my house has never been without some kind of a Plamil product in it for the past 25 years. So no surprise to see the chocolate spread popping up as a nominee. And there was another one, Dipalicious, our good friends at Dipalicious. Lovely guy, Omari. He's only, what is he, 12 now?
Yeah, he'll still be like sort of, you know, about that high. So, you know, fair shout to Omari and all the family there. Good wishes to them. Yeah. Also, the Free From Italy team, good friends of ours who do the pesto.
Yeah. Pesto, outstanding.
You know what my favourite would be there? I can't say it's for the taste. I mean, if I was going for the taste, I would pick something else. But the Meridian, not the Meridian, the Tidderford organic miso is extraordinary. There's a brown rice miso and another one too, a red miso. But it's a really incredibly fresh product, full of probiotics and really interesting. And I think I heard correctly that miso was one of the recommended foods by our plant-based health professionals, and the Tidderford miso, which probably won't win it because it's not the, you know, that's the standout for me because it's got so many health properties. Vegan magazine's been pretty hit this year. There's several gone by the wayside, unfortunately, no longer in publication. I think we've lost 3 vegan magazines this year. The market was becoming pretty full. There was a lot of publications out, which again reflects the growth, because when we were vegan, there was nothing up until about 12 years ago, I think. So we've included a couple of online options. Of course, a lot of this has moved online in the last, 12 months or so. And with it, there's been some fantastic news services. And I think it's fair to say that the quality of the online vegan options has improved from a couple of years ago, and I think that's in part because we've seen such a growth, but there's still some terrific magazines in print. Some of these are high street magazines, as it were, you'll see them in the shops and supermarkets. Some of them are the magazines that you would get through the campaign groups. So there's 3 campaign groups. There's the Vegan Society, Animal Aid, and Viva, all represented there. You've got your Vegan Life magazine, you've got Vegan Food and Living, Plant-Based magazine, and then you've also got Tofu magazine, which is a really interesting online version. You've got the Live Kindly, Vegan News, and Plant-Based News. They're all online. And I believe there's one other that I just missed, maybe not. I did have fun putting this one together. Outrage is in there, that's the Animal Aid. The Vegan magazine is indeed the Vegan Society's magazine. So there you go, there's the vegan magazines, Karen. I know you write for one or two of them, don't you?
I do, yes. So I've got a regular monthly column in Vegan Life magazine, who are based in Essex, as I am as well. And yeah, Vegan Food and Living magazine, again, fantastic magazine that's on the shelf when you go to supermarkets, WH Smith's. I don't know exactly where and when, different areas of the country. The Viva Life magazine. Now, I remember the Viva magazine when it was a photocopied 3 pieces of paper, when it was day one of Viva, and now it's this fantastic, massive, glossy publication. And I always look forward to reading it, as I do with the Animal Aid magazine. It's a little bit smaller, but it's always packed with news, packed with new vegan products, and plant-based news as well, which is absolutely huge. They've really gone to a skyrocket level with their online magazine as well. So yeah, it's quite an exciting category.
Karen, we've been talking now for over an hour and 10 minutes. That's fantastic. We've been through 19 of the categories now. We've announced 19 categories,
Okay.
10 nominees in each. I'll just reiterate, voting starts on the 22nd of Sunday, November. It'll run for 2 weeks. The winners will be announced at our event, 5 p.m. Saturday, December the 12th. So we'll be doing all of this again in a month. We'll be going through all the winners. I'm not sure we'll have all the winners with us, but we will announce them all. We've got one more category left. Now, this category, no, I'll be honest, this is the VegfestUK Awards. We are the longest running awards. I think we're probably the highest profile awards. I don't know. You know, the whole key about this is trying to make us all look good. And it is personal. It is, you know, a kind of extended VegFest family thing. And as I mentioned right at the beginning, there are a few people who have probably been left out, which is always sad. But as I said, the intention is really to include as many people as we can without actually going completely bananas over it all. So there's one more category to come, and that is the inspirational individual. This is it, the inspirational individual 2020. So this is an inspirational vegan individual. Now, of course, before we run with all of these, which we'll just do in a minute, I just want to just say, first of all, obviously when you have a vote for an individual, there's nearly always a team behind that individual. If nothing more than someone's partner has to put up with them and support them in their work and such like. So there's some really inspirational people here. They're all kind of friends, so it's quite personal. And you know, it's one of the reasons some of these people, you know, and it's me that's shamelessly me that's picked them. And then it's not really meant to be a reflection of anything more than really who I think I find particularly inspirational. And one of the things is about inspiring the people around you to keep going and to keep being positive and to just keep going. And that's something I know a lot of us have had to dig deep recently. So here's our list of people who we put up as being particularly inspirational. And there's plenty who are not on that list. And again, I apologise straight away for anybody who's not on that list. We could easily have had a couple of hundred inspirational individuals. But I think we'll be here to about 10:30 tonight with that. And I'm not sure that is. So here you go. You've got some really interesting people who are really doing some solid work and really not letting anything hold them back. Sometimes the work is quality, not quantity. And sometimes the work is quite outstanding and catches headlines, and other times it's very much in the background. But the whole thing about the inspiration is to basically inspire those of us around to really fulfill and optimize. And that's why I have selected all of these people, because I know that quietly they are inspiring the people around them to do a little bit more whilst we've got the opportunity. So, Karen, I'm going to wrap up in a minute. Before we do that, just I know you might want a few words about some of the people up there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel very blessed that lots of these people I would class as friends. I find all of them extremely inspirational. Dr. Shireen Kassam still blows my mind that we have a fantastic team of plant-based doctors now that have the research behind them. Juliet Galatly, who I've known since probably day 2 or 3 of Viva, and consistently spearheading veganism through Viva. Christopher Sebastian, who I've known through VegFest. What an incredible guy. Just love him to pieces. Peter Egan, who I've known for many, many years now. I mean, hench herbivore. We can just say all of their names. Dr. Roger Yates, who I think is fantastic. These guys just absolutely step up, promote veganism. They walk the walk, they talk the talk, they absolutely know their stuff. And Georgie, who we know as well. Well, I just don't even know who I would nominate out of all of them. To me, they're all winners. They are 100% all winners.
Well, Karen, I don't know what your math's like, but you might have noticed actually, if you add up these people, that there's only 9 nominations there. You've got Geordie, Juliet, Peter, Hench, Shireen, Dale Vince, who we didn't mention, Curly Sue's got her own TV show, Roger Yates, Christopher Sebastian. There's only 9, and there's a reason for that, because there is one more who is a truly inspirational person who's actually just personally inspired me a lot. And I've had a tough year, and it's not been easy the last couple of months especially, but one person especially who's kept me inspired. And the last nomination out of 200, and I can see some tears just appearing there, because it's my opportunity to say thank you very much to you, Karen. And there's Karin Ridgers for the 200th nominee for inspirational, basically VegfestUK Awards. So, Karen, you're one of 10 very inspirational people I've seen. And I know all these people are humble, and they'll probably all complain to me for being nominated in the first place. In fact, I would not be surprised if at least 1, if not 2, get in touch and ask me to remove them because they don't particularly want to be in the limelight. And if that's the case, that's fine. I will do, because, I don't know these things. And I'll tell you what I am tired of is trying to second guess. I ain't got time to do that. So you know what? Just tell me.
Well, look, Tim, I don't know.
Otherwise, because I ain't got time to work it out anymore.
If anyone gets taken off, then I can have their votes.
Anyway, look, it's from the heart. There's our little attempt to pick up so many people in the vegan community. Voting starts next week. It's an opportunity for people to share, celebrate, and also tell people about some of the amazing people and projects and personalities and publications and presentations and projects that are going on. Of course, the new vegan products too. So that's it. We're going to wrap up now. We've been chatting a while. That's our 200 nominees for the VegfestUK Awards. We hope you find that interesting. Do share. We go live in a week, and we will announce the winners December the 12th, the VegfestUK Awards 2020.
I'm in shock. I can't believe I didn't know you were going to do that. Flipping heck. Thank you.
Oh, Karen, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, that's it. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back, in fact, at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, in about 40 minutes with Dr. Tusha Mehta, who's joining us from Ontario in Canada, if that is indeed the place that he's joining us from. I believe it is. But he's going to be talking about all sorts of interesting things. But until then, Karen, we'll be back for another edition of VegfestUK Chat in December the 12th, 11 a.m. Saturday. Some fantastic guests.
We've got fantastic. And we've got, I'm just going to tell you, my lovely viewer, we've got Karen's Christmas cracker.
Got Karen's Christmas cracker coming up in a month, December the 12th, round about probably after the awards. I think about 7 o'clock we'll be doing that one, Christmas cracker on Saturday, December the 12th. Do go and visit all our activities. Do some shopping if you feel like it. There's lots of presentations up on the website. Also live streams. On that note, good night. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next month.